Last one, y'all. Thank goodness. Oh my God, Archie. Oh. Whew.
Matthew. Yeah.
We made it, Dave.
They said we couldn't do it.
We made it.
And it couldn't be done. And we persevered and we believed. And we said we're making it to this last game.
Cracked a good bottle tonight. Cracked a good bottle to celebrate.
Very good, my friend. Very, very nice.
Cheers, my friend.
Cheers to you. Unfortunately, I just have the water, but cheers to you, my friend.
I got that too. You got to stay hydrated.
But I did a lot of drinking this weekend, so that's helpful. Cheers to you. Oh, I've never enjoyed a last game so much in my life.
I just watched an Archie floater get swatted away like a gnat, and I don't care.
I had no feelings. I was so joyful. I was like, "Hey, great!"
Honestly, when the Bucks just completely changed their lineup right before tip-off, when they found out that their playoff seat was locked, I was actually like, "Oh hell yeah!" I was like, "Just give me G League Bucks versus G League Bulls."
Oh, you know why it feels? It's so many reasons why it feels good, but I think one of them is I just remember this being our starting five. Like I remember this. Like I remember this having to be the team that we had to watch. Like we were forced to watch. We had to watch them play basketball, no matter what.
Oh, come on, Denzel. Oh, get that ball back.
Oh, this is so joyful. What's up, viewers? Hello, guys. Hey, cheers to you, Catherine. Cheers to you, Catherine. Yes, Johnny.
What's up,
not
Catherine?
that Matt, Jay, Alexander. Oh, yes. Oh, join us in this joy fest. Join us.
Alicia Denzel, be gone.
Be gone.
It's like that girl in Space Jam with Charles Barkley. Be gone, wannabe.
Get out. You are
gone.
Be gone. Ha ha.
Oh,
you're out.
I look forward to the time when the Bulls season ends with a crushing playoff loss that breaks our hearts.
Yes.
On our way to maybe being a champion team again someday.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, seasons ending like this have become so comfortably familiar.
Yeah.
It's like you get to the last one of the season and you're like, oh, we did it.
You know what it's like? It's like doing the Iron Man, and what people must feel like when they finish the Iron Man. Like it's just so many things they have to do, and it just looks so terrible. And when they get to the end, they just collapse and they're overjoyed. Of course, this is nothing like that because we get to sit on our behinds and watch sports. But that's how bad they've been. That it feels like work sometimes. That it feels like, oh, do I really want to go through this? It just, honestly, Matt, for me, it just feels like the end of an era. It just feels like the end of just incompetence and trash and foolishness. And, it just feels a weight.
Right.
It's just being lifted off of us, man. It feels good.
And as opposed to recent years past, where we get to the end of a season and we have to be on our toes so we don't miss Gar and Pax sneaking in the post-mortem season-ending press conference while big other things in the world of sports are going on.
Yeah.
So that we can listen to them tell us how nothing's going to change. This is different.
Yes.
Because it's like, okay, are we thrilled with the way the season went? No. But does our pal John, do most Bulls fans have faith in AK and Eversley doing proactive shit to continue trying to fix this in the summer offseason months? And the answer is yes. I believe that they will keep working to fix this.
Oh, I just can't wait to see these vans pulling out and just taking all of this trash off of this team, man. My God, like all of it. Makoka, Archie, Denzel, Felicia, like it's so much trash left over that is now about to just be gone. And I am going to feel so happy about it. I don't even care if Arch stays. I just know if he stays, I ain't going to have to watch him all the time. Only on the bench being an awesome cheerleader and not being a focal point of this offense.
As opposed to just now where, as Casey Johnson just pointed out, he hit 3 threes in the span of 61 seconds.
Yes, that.
While the Bulls draft lottery odds shed a tear. Oh, God. Maciek asked, will the Bulls draft order change based on this game? So, draft lottery order, maybe. Because we have 30 wins right now and an 11-point lead on the Bucks. And please, dear God, find a way to lose in these last 9.5 minutes. But the Kings and Pelicans both have 31 wins, and they both play night games. Like they had late tip-offs. They've probably tipped off by now.
Yes, they have.
So, God forbid if the Bulls the Jazz are pooping on the Kings right now. So that's not great. Pelicans are down 15 to the Lakers at the end of the third.
Yes. So
if the Bulls win this game and the Pelicans and Kings both lose as expected, and they are well on their way to doing so, the Bulls, Kings, and Pelicans will all be tied with the same record.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't it kind of feel like that's supposed to be? Because like we just said, Milwaukee had a whole different starting five about to come in there until all of a sudden they find out they don't have to be in there. And then everything changes. It was going to be a great tank job. They put Lowry at center. Like you put him at center, bro. Like seriously.
And as much as I just said a moment ago, how for the sake of sheer entertainment, I was happy to watch Bucks G League, Bulls G League. Mm-hmm. But if the Bucks actually had something to play for tonight, they certainly would have handed us an L.
Yes.
And secured us the 8th spot in the lottery standings.
I mean, undoubtedly handed us an L. Like it was going to happen.
I'm holding out faith that we can find a way to lose this day.
Not with Thad Young backing them down doing things. Like Thad is in the game. Like, Oh, this feels nice, though.
K. Schwo said Felicio double-double or I'm storming out of the UC. Wait, does that mean you're in the UC right now?
Knowing K. Schwo, he is in the UC. That man's everywhere.
If you're at the UC and you're hanging out with us on Hot Mic, props to you.
Props to you. Absolutely. He's right about that. Props to you. And he just said, what a weird vibe here in the stadium. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He just, hey.
We used to be allowed in that building.
Yeah. At one point in time. I've enjoyed the Bulls Outcasts, but I'm ready for the return of the Outsiders. Oh, Alexander. Well, you know how you can help. How about you go to your social medias using the hashtag Bring Back Bulls Outsiders?
Hey-o.
I mean, that's just an idea, that you could go do. Hashtag Bring Back Bulls Outsiders. Everybody on here, you go ahead and say that. That would be cool. Mm-hmm. Let them know. Voice your opinions. Let them know how you feel. This is your thing. This is your show. We do it for y'all. And we appreciate y'all. We really do like the fact that y'all like us and enjoy what we do.
It is confusing and humbling and lovely.
That is the perfect, you know what? That's the perfect way to take a compliment right there. Confusing, humbling, and lovely.
As unhealthily obsessed with this team as I am, cool.
Yeah, right. Really? You guys feel like this?
They can also tolerate me? Well, that's just aces.
That's just called a. But wait, Teague is out the game too. Hey, Bobby Portis. Good to see you, buddy.
Okay, who is this Luka Doncic's little brother guy out here that the Bucks have?
I don't know. I want to say it's that guy from Michigan.
Either that or it is a failed Bears quarterback from years past.
And no more of that either.
No.
That's going too.
No, we took a star quarterback from Ohio State. Who's black?
Who's black? Wow. You've never seen it ever. It's never happened ever. Not that Matt said, but if you go back to TV, you won't talk to us anymore. That's not true. The whole show we talked to people. That's all we did.
What? Join the comments.
Yes.
On the streams. Mm-hmm. And they put them in the teleprompter right there.
Yeah, and
it's even easier. I have to go from looking at you, Dave, to the side where the comments are.
Yep.
They just pop those babies right into the camera that I'm already staring at.
That's right. And I'm on the YouTube page.
Yeah.
John is on one. Like, yeah, we see it. Johnny said Rex Grossman wasn't black.
Oh, goodness.
Got news for you, buddy. That wasn't Drake out there. I'm telling you, just pure old-fashioned Rexy blood.
Ugh.
Oh, he was horrible. I was just watching a clip of Rex Grossman, actually, because I was watching this montage of Jason Taylor just being great. And then it was just a clip of Rex Grossman throwing an interception like directly into his hands.
Yeah.
And I just watched it, Matt, and I immediately just laughed out loud. What was he looking at? Like Jason Taylor's like 80 feet tall. Like what is he looking at? And I said, you know what? I don't have to deal with this anymore. I don't have to deal with it. It's not my problem. Not my problem. Johnny
Rex is definitely hammered at a Big Ten bar in Palatine right now. Hey, man. You know what one of my favorite NFL facts is? Still to this day. Okay. And bless every team that has knocked him out before he gets there.
Okay.
Rex Grossman and Aaron Rodgers have appeared in the same number of Super Bowls as a starting quarterback. That's a fact.
It's a fact. You have the same number of NFC championships as Rex Grossman.
Oh. Dave, how much are you loving all of this Aaron Rodgers panic on Packers Twitter right now?
You know, the sports guys, man. You know, they haven't smiled on Chicago in a while. You know, it's been a long time since we've gotten it from all sides. So now we're getting it from the Bulls because they're rebuilding and looking like a team. And now we're getting it from the White Sox, and even the Cubs are even fun to watch. You know, even they're at a level where they're 500. And you're like, no, this is a good National League team. This is an enjoyable National League team I'm watching. 3-2, 2-1 victories. Yes, I can watch that.
Yeah. They scored 5 runs today.
Huh?
Yeah.
But, man, when watching it with all those teams coming together and finally looking like something, and then at the same time seeing the downfall of these Packers just makes your heart sink.
How many steps did that just take?
I mean, quite a few.
That was pivoting 8 different times on 8 different feet.
Yeah, the refs are done too.
Yeah, that was. Oh, but they didn't call it traveling, and they're going to call a goaltend.
Well,
is that what just happened?
Because they're not. They can't call the blatant ones because they want to go home. Unless if it's blatant, they'll call it. But if they can get away with it, they're like, we want to go home.
Refs, you've been screwing us all season, and now when we want to lose this game, you decide to give us the benefit of the doubt. Bullocks.
I don't know who. Somebody tell us who Merrill is, and tell us who Simon Phoenix is at the free throw line. Also,
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he's related to Brandon Sampson and Sean Kilpatrick.
Because my goodness,
and Wayne Selden Jr.
Walter Lemon. I'm saying he got the Dennis Rodman blonde. He's all blonde.
That's the Wesley Snipes blonde.
Oh, correct, which is why I called him Simon Phoenix from Demolition Man. Exactly why I called him Simon Phoenix, yes. And he's got the Demolition Man shoes on. Yeah.
Although those kind of just look like New York Knicks shoes.
Yeah, you're right. But in Demolition Man, those would have been the thing.
Which, can we give a quick shout out to our pal Tibbs and D. Rosentaj?
Yeah.
I mean, the Knicks are the 4 seed, Dave.
That's insane. They have home court advantage.
We were talking about them being a team that, all right, we don't know if the Bulls are going to be decent, but we know that we won't be the absolute bottom of the barrel because there are some teams that you can always rely on to be worse, and you put the Knicks in that category.
Yes.
Nobody thought the Knicks were going to be good this year.
Well, I did, but I didn't think 4 seed good. But I thought they were going to the playoffs. Just from what they had.
Did you see this breakout season coming from Randall?
I didn't, but I knew it was going to be somebody because it's like that with Tibbs. Like every year, it's like that. He has just one guy. He'll get it out of him, and then he will ride him until he breaks his back in half.
Right.
Like that's really what it is. But on that ride, you will be ascending to levels of greatness you didn't know that you were going to ever ascend to.
Because he coaches that hard and rides his guys that hard every night, every regular season game, as if like, if I don't win this game tonight, some evil, bag over the head executioner from the Middle Ages is going to come and put my head in a guillotine.
Sounds dramatic, but he's right. He's absolutely right. That's how Tibbs coaches.
No, nobody cares about regular season wins more than Tom Thibodeau.
Nobody. You hear me? Nobody. Not one person cares more about that than that man. It's going to be so interesting just to watch them. I think they're going to have a good playoffs because honestly, it's first 2-year Tibbs is always fun and games, but then you realize you're a human being who has knees. And backs,
right.
Hey, John's here. Hey, Johnny boy. What's happening,
man? Just you too, buddy. Hope you're enjoying the West Coast.
Feast is famine. How are you?
Feast is famine. Joining the party.
Can you and Castro, John? John he's got business, man. He's got dealings. He's a mover. He's a shaker. He's got stuff going on all over the place, man.
He's a businessman with a lot of stokes and a lot of fires all over the place.
That's right. Cryptocurrencies and
liquid cheeses.
Yes. Yes. Oh, man. Almost done until the trash gets taken out. Denzel for 3. Hey, I hope you like that.
Oh, my God.
That's right. Go out strong, buddy. Go out strong.
Fire away, Denzel.
Because you're going out.
Yeah. It's like, taking your dog who you have to put down, but before you take them to the vet to put them down, you let them do all of their favorite things and give them, a delicious last meal.
Yes.
Here's pizza. Here's some ice cream, doggo. And now get in the van. We're going to the vet for a lethal injection.
Not that Matt said John is screen testing for the Warriors Outsiders.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I hope he does see them though when he's out there. To be honest with you, hey John, go see the Warriors Outsiders while you're out there, man.
Speaking of which, shout out to Steph Curry, man.
Oh,
the oldest player to win a scoring title since who?
Of course, Matt. Say it.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Boom. Boom.
It's just funny how often when you're talking about accolades and achievements that other players have gotten to, it's like, oh, first player to do this since, and it's always him. Like, it's just like, or if it's multiple, he's always in there.
Mm-hmm. Always. Like, it's insane. Like, and I start sending like stats to just random friends and stuff, like, because they become comical at some point, because I don't ever want anybody to ever forget the dominance that he displayed that still matters today.
Right. Yeah.
And it was one I read, Matt, that said there are 11 players that have been the only starter. They have 11 players who've been the only all-star on their team and have gone to the finals. But then I did research and I took it a step further. I said there were 3 players that did it that were the only all-star. No, I'm sorry. There were 8 players that did it and were all NBA and an all-star. Mm-hmm. There were 3 players that were all NBA, an all-star, and an MVP. There were 2 that did all that and won the finals MVP. Michael Jordan did all of that twice.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
That's insane. That's insane, man. Come on.
It was like I can't remember what that stat was, but it was something that Zach LaVine accomplished a couple months back earlier this season. And it was like, hey, Zach LaVine did it this time. And in Bulls franchise history, this guy did it and that guy did it. And then MJ did it all of the other times. And it was like 70 something times. And Zach, when he was, told about that stat, was like, yeah, dude, that dude's a ghost. Like, he's not even real.
He's like, dude, look, this man in 96. They call it the perfect season. 95 when he was the NBA champ, was the Finals MVP, won the MVP. They had the 72 game season, was the scoring champ, and was the All-Star MVP. Now, minus the 72 games in 1998 when they won 62, he did the exact same thing at the age of 35. So he did this twice. He did it 2 times. This is insane. It gets comical after a while. It just gets comical, dog. Like seriously,
truly,
seriously, y'all, come on.
We were just retold that story of the 97-98 season through the Last Dance. MJ dragged that team.
Dragged them.
He
did.
Scotty missed the first 2/3 of the season because he didn't want to fuck his summer up.
He did.
He had to deal with Dennis, Mr. Headcase, who was like, I need a vacation.
I'll be going for 4 days. He turned into 2 weeks.
And then just had unexcused absences piling up.
That's so crazy.
And that was, there's so many gems from that documentary, but I think my favorite line might be when MJ said, man, like, this bullshit. If anybody needs a fucking vacation, I need a vacation.
Yeah, right. What are you talking about? Oh, my God. And still led the league in scoring. Doing all of that. He's 35. And he did all of that and played all 82 games, by the way. And it's insane. It's just insane, dog. Like, it's comical and it's insane. And I love it because these are my favorite arguments. And it's down to 10.
Please, come on. Find a way to lose this.
3 minutes left. Pieces Family says, are you guys doing the playoffs? Because I don't know how I'm going to live without some outsiders.
That's very kind of you.
Thank you.
Yes, we have talked about doing some NBA playoff games, kind of like we did last year during the bubble, when we were all sick, homesick for each other and excited about playoff basketball, because that will be a lot more fun than just this.
And speaking of that, Matt, I cackled at that Saturday Night Live skit that you sent.
The on the editing room floor extension of the scene with his security guard, John Michael Wozniak.
My God, man.
The shrug guy with that ridiculously beautiful gray-white perm.
Beautiful perm, man. It was beautiful.
I hope that SNL and their PR team reached out to that family before they did that and made sure it was cool. Because I'm sure but that John Michael Wozniak recently passed away.
Right.
And so he became a posthumous celebrity from the documentary because everybody was like, oh my God, who's this awesome dude with the perm?
Yeah.
And it's not like it was, the sketch itself was in poor taste. It was really funny, but it was just like, oh yeah, no, here we're making fun of MJ's gambling problem.
Right.
But it's also like, okay, I have no pants and I'm like wagering, letting you spend a night with my wife and like all this ridiculous stuff.
Oh man, it's like, you have a problem. Oh, Evan, come on. Evan says being a Bulls fan can be absolutely miserable. I can't believe this is happening right now. Evan, come on, man. It's over. It's the last season. We're getting rid of so much trash. We're gonna be better. I promise you that. I can't wait. Can't wait.
And it is kind of annoying that they might, with players who won't be here next season, screw up their odds in the lottery a little bit more.
Yeah, they're doing their best to try to lose. I mean, but it's hard when they brought out a worse team than you. Phoenix is on the floor. Like, it's a white dude that Matt said played quarterback for the Bears. Like, we don't. It's worse.
His name could have been Phoenix Simon for all I knew. Evan, you know what helps?
There you go. The proper juice.
Cheers, Bulls fans.
The nectar.
Congratulations on surviving another brutal season.
You did it, guys. You did it.
So some other West Coast games just went final, and it is set. NBA Western Conference play-in tourney, 7 versus 8. Lakers Warriors.
Oh,
it's on, dude.
Oh, Oh,
give it to me.
Oh, I love games where there's just greatness happening and I don't have a dog in the fight. I just get to sit back and watch it, and I can't wait. Oh,
I mean, I have a dog in that fight.
Well, yes. Yes, I know. Yes, this is true. Very good point.
Good gravy would it just now tickle me to pieces if LeBron and AD and the Lakers lose the 7-8 game to the Warriors and then somehow find a way to lose to the winner of the 9-10 game. It's not going to happen.
No, but the fact that it's a possibility, at my friends who are Bron fans, it will make me laugh at them. I must say that. I will definitely cackle at them if that happens. Now, they'll explain that to me. The 7-8, it's a one game.
Okay, so 7-8 winner is officially the 7th seed in the 1 through 8 seeding for the playoffs.
Gotcha.
The loser of the 7-8 game plays the winner of the 9-10 game.
Okay.
And the winner of that game gets the 8th seed. So 9-10 is Memphis Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
So the loser of that game is out.
Okay.
Winner of that game plays loser of 7-8 for the 8th and final spot.
Okay, got you. And that will be interesting because if let's say worst case scenario for the Lakers, they lose, and let's say not the worst case scenario, because worst case scenario they don't get in at all. But let's say they lose to the Warriors and they win and they get the 8th seed. So they'll be playing, I believe, the Utah Jazz in the first round, which is honestly a good matchup for the Lakers. Like it's a really good matchup for them, but you don't want to play them because they're still the number 1 seed for a reason. They're still the best team, and now your road to the finals has just become even more hard. But I will say this: what you don't want to give a guy like LeBron James and any great player like LeBron James is a challenge. And that is a challenge that who's been an 8th seed and has won an NBA Finals? Nobody. It's never happened. And who was down 3-1 in the finals and came back and won? Nobody. It had never happened. So until LeBron did it. You can't give greats those kind of challenges, man, because he's rested. Like he took pretty much the rest of the season off. So he's rested and good to go. So giving him that kind of challenge, it's going to be tough.
And it's weird because it's like, okay, a team that has LeBron and Anthony Davis on it is not an 8th seed. It's like, well, yes, because they both missed such significant time this season due to injuries, that's where they found themselves. But it won't be some David Goliath story.
Right, correct.
If they upset, whether it's the 1 seed or the 2 seed, that, if they make it past the play-in.
Right.
But you're not wrong. It's like, okay, well, here's a challenge. Don't have home court, and got to play the best, one of the 2 best teams in the entire league in round 1. That's a challenge.
Yeah, you're playing for greatness at this time. Like you're playing for greatness, and that's what he's in there for right now.
I also really want Steph and the Warriors to be in the actual playoffs for at least a round.
Yeah.
Because, he has gone back to being, after a year where he was injured, arguably the most must-watch in the NBA. Dude just, we were talking about it a few minutes ago. Dude just won the scoring title. Averaged, 31 points per game.
Crazy.
And it's like, oh, right, Steph Curry. Dude who changed the game. He
did.
Literally. Is out there doing Steph Curry things.
Yeah.
With, like an aging and taped together Draymond Green and a few other pieces. What he's done to even keep them, where they are without Clay all season.
Yeah, you forget about that. That Clay's not there. And Johnny said it. He hit 9 threes tonight.
Yeah.
Stupid. This is dumb, man.
He's insane.
Dumb. It's so dumb. Like, it's so good, it's dumb.
And it's like, it's the Splash Brothers. But there's only one right now.
Right.
And he's, there's some screenshots I saw on Twitter that were trending of one of their recent games where it was Steph having just crossed half court and he had 4 guys on him. Like 4 guys guarding him.
That's dominance.
When Clay's out there, you can only double team Steph.
Yep.
Maybe, and get away with it.
Yeah, you love when guys like that kill narratives, because he's been doing that his whole career, just killing there. Oh, he can't win the big one. He doesn't show up in the finals. Well, he can't do it without Clay. He's got to be there. Oh, well, he can't do it without KD. You got to because people like setting up challenges and barriers for greats, and I love just watching them knock them down. I really do.
Right.
Also to see, and it's a 4-point game here, Matt. 31 ticks.
And you just pointing that out has sealed their fate, Dave. God damn
it. It's all right. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Because AK and ME are there. And I'm happy to see it. Because we're not going to be terrible.
Look at that close-up Denzel. Get out of here.
Oh, 31 more seconds.
Get out.
31 more seconds of that.
31 more seconds of Denzel. And he's out of my life forever.
It's out of my life. Can't wait.
I am so curious to see if he signs somewhere. And then I can tell that fan base, good luck and enjoy. The most maddening player you will ever have on your team.
He just had to, I'm telling you, man, he just had to find the coach that can harness that. You have to know when to get him out the game. Like, you have to have an immediate hook for Denzel. He'll put you back in the game. He might even win a game for you. But if you say, oh, wow, he's hot right now, that's when you failed. The moment you say that, you fail. Man, he's hot right now. We got to leave him in. No. 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 Get him
Did
out.
You say he might even win a game for you?
We've seen him win a game for us, man.
Yeah, a summer league game.
No, we were at the game. We saw him win the Clippers game for us. We saw that. We saw him win that game. He did. He won that game when your boy Fred was there too. he won that game, man.
It's one of the worst nights of my life.
I'm so glad I was there for it.
I got the last laugh because Denzel has either been a DNP or out there making a fool of himself the entirety of this season.
Yeah, it's true.
And I think I saw Fred on Twitter like a week or so ago when somebody asked him, how are you feeling? And he said, honestly, like I'm ready for Denzel to be gone so I can stop dealing with all of the Bulls fans hating on me for defending and liking Denzel.
Yeah, it's got to be a happy burden.
Which made me feel bad for like a fraction of a millisecond. And then I was like, wait, no, Matt, that's good. He deserves all this crap he's gotten over the years for defending such a ridiculous player.
And I mean, to the end, too. To the very, very end, he defended Denzel. And he stuck to his guns. But
Kobe missed the free throw.
He did miss the free throw. He missed it.
Come on, G League Bucks.
Oh,
he didn't miss them both. He didn't Karl Malone it.
He did not. Oh, Karl Malone did that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And
you
the
missed the layup.
G-League Bucks. G-League Bucks. Like, Matt, don't do this to yourself. Matt, don't do this to yourself. Please don't do this to yourself, man. It's the G-League Bucks. Don't do it to yourself, brother. Please.
You said, hey, look, it's a 4-point game.
And you said I cursed it. That's what you said.
This is your fault.
I will take it. It's all right, man. Give it all to me, Matt. I'm here. I mean, give it all. I'm just gonna hug it out of you.
I just want a few more ping pong balls.
I know, man. I know, man. I know. Trust in AK and Everson. Trust him, Matt. Trust him.
Woosa,
man. Trust. Look at Lowry. Look at him. There's another one. Out of here. Bye. Bye. So long. Don't you foul him. Now dribble it out. Just dribble it out and let's get out of here. Just dribble it out. Oh, this feels so awesome right now. This feels great. Oh, let it tick down. Let it get out. Hit that horn. We are done.
Bless it.
It's over, guys. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over, guys. Guys, it's
With
over.
that, I die and I am reborn. Wow. So that was a game and that was a season. Thanks for watching the fourth quarter with us, everybody. This is the Stretch 4. We are the Bulls Outcasts. I'm Matt. That's Big Dave. Our buddy John took an early start to his summer vacation, and we miss him terribly. As always, a reminder, if you want to join the conversation with us, hit that hot mic button on your hot mic app, and you can be on screen and share your thoughts about tonight's game. Probably not. About the season in the future, more likely. And as always, tips are welcome and appreciated. Yes. So, Big Dave, happy that it's over, right?
It's scary.
I'm going to do my best to make peace with the fact that this ridiculous, meaningless win right now just cost the Bulls about another 6% in their lottery odds situation.
Yes.
I'm going to quickly make my peace with that.
Sure.
And turn to you, and instead of being the Debbie Downer I usually am, say once again how excited I am to see what happens this offseason. Because we heard AK say on trade deadline day, more changes are coming. More changes are coming. And I can't wait to see what those changes are.
I cannot wait, Matt. It feels so nice. This feels so nice. When the season ended last year, it was more like irrational hope and mixed with slight depression. And then even the same the year before that. And even the year before that. Because all that trash that we had to deal with. But this feels different, my friends. Because it's actually logical hope. Because he's telling you what he's going to do. He has not said, AK has not said one thing that he has, not one thing. Everything he said, he either tried to do or he did it. The playoffs. That's it. Because he tried to make the playoffs. But everything he has done and said that he wanted to do and what he wanted to go get and the fits he wanted for this team, as far as the coaching staff, as far as the players, as far as the people around him, as far as GMs and everybody like that, as far as the free agents, he was very open about what they could do and what they couldn't do. And he went and he did it every single time. We weren't used to that as Bulls fans. So when he would say these things, we've learned to read between the lines to deal with in the past.
Right.
We've all become, like real detectives, because of that reason. And we were like, wait a minute, where's the flaw? Where's the lie? It wasn't one. He was telling the truth the entire time in your face. So when he says more change, when he says I want to be in the playoffs coming in next year, when he says we want to get big free agents here, we want to make this a destination for NBA talent, believe it, because he has shown you everything he wants to do and has done it, guys. And it feels so good. Shout out to AK and Market. Oh boy.
So, there are a lot of different things that we might see this offseason when it comes to the other elements that they try and bring in here and the elements that are currently here that they say, hey, thanks for everything. Good luck. See you never. Is there a player or players beyond the obvious returnees of Zach, Vooch, most certainly Patrick Williams, probably Kobe, unless they get a great trade offer for him or something, or find a great point guard on the market or in a trade, that showed you this season, whether they were here at the start of it or they arrived at the deadline, I want that guy around next season to see where AK and Eversley go from here. Other than the unknowable free agent acquisitions or trades that might happen in the offseason, and whether or not we have a draft pick, is there somebody on this roster right now, other than the obvious gonna be here's, that you want to be here?
Wow, there are a couple. One definitely is your guy, Daniel Tice. Tice. I like that. I know how to say his name now because of Stacy, because I think Tice, baby. Like,
yep.
But him, like, you see the dividends that he paid for this team. And above anything, Chicago sports fans, doesn't matter the sport. Chicago sports fans love hardworking, nose to the grindstone kind of players. Guys who come in and do their job and get a little dirt. Any sport in Chicago, we love that. So along with skill. And you see how well he worked in that lineup with Vooch. It felt good. I thought he shot too many threes, but they were open and he took them. So I was okay with that. And it wasn't like he was shooting 6 of them. He was shooting about at most 3 a game.
Right. As opposed to one of our former big men, Wendell, who when he got the ball and was open behind the 3-point line, tucked his tail between his legs and ran home.
Correct. Correct. And I mean, yeah, literally. And so I'd like to see. The other one I'd like to see Garrett Temple get another year here. I would. I like what he provided. I like what he provided.
Give Garrett Temple his due right now, because I've seen some Bulls fans hounded Temple for some underwhelming games recently and saying the guy's trash, and I'm like, no. There were times this season when Garrett Temple was our second or third best player.
Yes. We actually won games because of him on both ends of the floor. Like, we got a guy who people, didn't know much about coming in, but all you kept hearing was he was an amazing teammate. That's the most things you kept hearing about Garrett Temple. But the Bulls knew that he could shoot, and the Bulls knew that you needed some veterans on this team. You got a guy you can plug at the 2 or the 3 who can shoot the 3-point shot, especially from the baseline, and a guy who can actually guard the team's best backcourt guard. He can actually guard them. You can actually put him on that player, and he can be there and won't need any help or anything like that. Having that is very helpful, because when you got a backcourt like Kobe and Zach, we don't know what the point guard is going to be, but I'm just going to say Kobe and Zach right now. When you got that kind of backcourt, that's not great defense. You don't have a great defensive backcourt there. Having Garrett Temple back there just really helped. I take it back to the play I saw when Wendell was here, when he was scared to shoot. And remember, he got the ball at the top of the key. Garrett was wide open, top of the key. Yeah. And he said, I don't know what to do. And he threw it back to Garrett Temple. And Garrett Temple threw it right back at him and said, shoot the ball, man. And he shot it, and it went in. And honestly, Wendell's game kind of changed after that, if you noticed it. Honestly, go back and look at that.
Garrett Temple didn't say shoot the ball. He said shoot the bow.
Yes, shoot the bow. What are you doing? Shoot the bow. That's what he said. And he shot that joker, and it went in. And you just saw him smiling happy. That's what that provides. That kind of veteran leadership. That kind of guy on your team who can run the actual offense and defense and call out the plays and communicate on the floor. You need that in your backcourt. You've gotten in your front court with Daniel Tice. You've got that. But now having that guy in your backcourt like that, another veteran that can do it, I would love to see him return. He has a 2-year deal. I would love to see him come back if possible.
Absolutely. I'm with that. Is not the answer I was expecting, but I would love that was your answer, because underwhelming free agent signing last offseason, but does a lot of the little things. In similar to my guy Tice, on both ends of the floor, does a lot of the little things. Makes the right plays, makes the right reads, also does hustle plays. And you need a couple of those guys in your rotation.
Yes.
Even if they're not star caliber, but they give you what they give you every single night. Yes. So, I would not be opposed to seeing Garrett Temple back on another, vet minimum kind of contract next season. Appreciate K. Schwo, by the way, who said, thanks for everything this year, guys. Put this tip towards Lonzo. we talked about Lonzo yesterday. I don't want to talk about Lonzo anymore right now. We know that he might be an option on the table that AK and Eversley pursue this offseason. Yeah. But appreciate the tip, K. Schwo. I hope you had fun at the United Center tonight. Man, I can't wait, Big Dave, to see the United Center, hopefully, knock on wood, full of fans for their home opener next season. Yeah. I mean, you and me and John were doing it, I want to say on March 7th or 8th last year. A couple of games, a couple of days before the NBA shut down. And being in that building And like not only for us nerding out and like being in the media room and being around media people and like seeing players walk by in the hallway in the tunnel on their way to the locker room, and us being like, jaw, war.
They're tall.
There's something about like when we walked from the media room into those extra corner media seats that Will pointed out to us that were available.
What a moment.
And you just looked around and like, even though last year, it was a down year towards the end of the season, the UC was still pretty full of fans. Not like at capacity, but certainly more than an empty stadium, certainly more than the measly 4 to 5K that they've let in these last handful of games.
Correct.
My hope is that what we see Eversley and AK do this offseason, and what we see Levine with his determination to finally break through that barrier and be a team leader who leads his team to the playoffs next year, along with Vooch and what other pieces are here. I hope that is what fans at the United Center see next season.
Yes.
Because god damn does this fan base deserve that after this stretch of half a decade.
They deserve it, man. I mean, the loyalty of Bulls fans. Like you said it earlier, Matt, in the show. Like when we were doing that, he was like, wait a minute, there are people as crazy about the Bulls as we are? Like, yeah, and they're in droves. You know what I mean? And they're global at the same time. Yeah, man, like the Bulls fans deserve a winner. They deserve some playoff basketball. This Chicago, bro. Like this ain't Sacramento. You know what I mean? This ain't these other little tiny that are just happy, just fielding a solid team. Now we used to going to the playoffs. Like we're used to at least being in the playoffs often. And we deal with stuff there. But the fact that we haven't been there is new to a lot of Bulls fans because we're not used to that. And I appreciate having a front office that recognizes that fact. And it's like, nope, this ain't what the Bulls are about. They're about winning. I get when your front office guy tells you, man, I got inspired watching The Last Dance that I called the guy wanted to be GM earlier than when I was going to call him just to tell him he had the job so we could get started. He just wanted to get started at this after watching The Last Dance, man. Right. Every time you see AK, he's got on something with a bull on it. Like it don't matter. Like
and then didn't let Billy Donovan have an hour of rest before calling him and hounding him after Donovan left the bubble when the Thunder lost.
Right. It was like, yeah, where you at? Dude, I'm going home for a second. All right, I'll meet you down there.
AK text you up? Question mark.
Right. It's 3 a.m, AK. Oh, so you are up because you responded. Okay. You want to meet? You want to talk? I'm not coming up. Well, I'm coming down there. How about that? I'm doing that. I'm showing up. Dude, I cannot. They deserve it. Like all these Bulls fans, all our fans here, all the passion they show us when they're talking, all the ones we know on social media, on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube and all those feeds.
Right.
We see the passion and we see the hunger for Bulls fans. We know it's there and we know that they deserve it. And it's awesome to have a fan base like that, you know? Of course, you deal, with the arguments that we go through. That's fine because we're all arguing because we want to be better. Because we want a better team in the end. We just want to win. So the fact that it's a front office here now and a coaching staff now that understands that and isn't shaming you for that, isn't, like, I don't know, you don't know what you're talking about kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
No, they're not doing that. They're like, no, yeah, you're right. This ain't good. We're gonna change it. I love that, man. And that's just what makes me feel so good about going into the offseason.
Yeah, it is a different feeling where I don't feel like I am resisting the attempt to be brainwashed and just completely, blinds pulled over by the people who run the team that I care more about than is healthy. Like just yesterday was the 10-year anniversary of the Bulls blowing out the Heat in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Dave, can you believe that was 10 years ago now?
Wow, man. Wow.
10 years ago.
That's a wow.
So somebody posted, the video of Taj dunking on Wade, and then the Taj putback dunk towards the end of the fourth quarter. And it was I've told you this before. I was in the building that night. I was at the United Center for Game 1 in 2011 against the Heat, and it was easily, since being in that building back when the dynasty was rocking, the best moment of my Chicago sports fandom. Like I watched the Cubs win the World Series, and I was lucky enough to be at Wrigley for a couple of their playoff games. None of the World Series games, but like when the Bulls beat the Heat in Game 1 in 2011, and I was at the United Center, I was like, "This is what I remember as Bulls fan as a kid."
Yeah.
The building going nuts.
Yeah.
Guys jumping up on off the bench cheering for their teammates because you're winning by 20 in the fourth quarter. The starters are sitting, and the scrubs are out there, and the scrubs are running the show. That is what you and I grew up knowing as Bulls fans.
True.
And we have come so far away from that in this rebuild that clearly did not go the way that Jerry, John, and Gar intended it to.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, there is still so much work to be done.
Sure.
But I think the key point that we keep coming back to is it's been a year. Some Bulls fans are nuts and impatient and are already saying, like, oh, I'm unimpressed with AK and Eversley. They don't know what they're doing. Why are they? And I am, meanwhile, saying, I believe.
Yes.
All of the years of cynicism in my very near rearview mirror, I'm saying I am believing that next season, when the Bulls tip off in mid-late October for their first game of a new season, I'm going to believe that they're going to be a playoff team.
Yes, and it feels good, and it's not irrational. You know what I mean? It's not like you're pipe dreaming. It makes sense because of what you've seen that and what they've told you.
Unlike a certain friend of yours.
Oh yeah, well,
who's been saying playoffs for years now.
He has. Yes, he has. He has definitely been saying that. And won't it feel good for him to be right? Don't you want Fred to be right? You want him to be right. You do want him to be right about the Bulls.
Every once in a while, a blind squirrel finds a nut. Dave.
Hey man, well I hope it's a big one, and I hope he enjoys it, and he deserves it. So enjoy that, sir. But man, they got a lot, like you said, man. We're not naive to it. They got work to do, and it's a lot of work they got to do. There's cap issues they're gonna have to deal with. There's still the lottery, like you said, losing a bunch of ping pong balls after winning this game is definitely going to hurt those chances. There are guys that we got to get rid of, the guys that we might keep, guys that have player options who might, come back in, like Aminu is one of those guys. So it's definitely going to be like some maneuvering and a lot of things they're going to have to do. We're not naive to any of that. It's just that we know the person who's doing the maneuvering. We're looking at the guys who are behind the scenes. We're looking at Mark Eversley, and we're looking at AK, and we're looking at Billy Donovan. And we're like, yeah, well, these guys seem like they want to put together something that wins and something that looks good. And then we also looking at the fact that there's going to be an actual offseason now. There's actually going to be an actual training camp now. There's going to actually be a summer league now. Like these things are going to happen for this team. And it just feels good because you watch Patrick Williams and, that young talent, and you want to see it develop. And then knowing how Zach and Vooch can now have a chemistry, on the floor that you got a 1-2 punch for real. And knowing Kobe White is going to get better,
right.
It just feels good. And the moves that, they're going to make to see who they can bring in here. So that's where all that joy comes from, guys. It's definitely from a place of logic. It's not from just a place of irrational hope. It's definitely logic behind all of this. And we're excited.
Logic. Mm-hmm. I love logic. That.
I do know this, Matt. I do know this.
Shout out to Louise for the tip, who said, gentlemen, thanks for rocking with us all season. Love right back at you.
Appreciate you,
appreciation. Here's an interesting quote from Billy Donovan postgame just came across my Twitter feed, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
He said, we're trying to build a winning culture here, which speaks exactly to what you were just talking about.
Talk to me.
For me, I'm disappointed. I'll always look at things I could have done better in a unique year. I think the guys' chemistry was very, very good, but after the trade, we changed stylistically. What was hard to overcome was the amount of games we gave away. So, first thing, try to build a winning culture. Second thing, I need to be better. And all of you out there complaining about Donovan's X's and O's in a weird year like this, with a bunch of trades on deadline day and a weird overhaul of a roster, yes, we nitpicked some decisions he made with the rotation, and will likely continue to do so because that's what fans do. That's what fans who watch every night do. What the hell is our coach doing with our rotation? I like this guy better than that guy.
Exactly.
But the fact that is such a striking difference from he who must not be named.
Don't do it.
What can I do better? That is Billy Donovan taking the advice of he who must not be named and a little introspection, right?
Mm-hmm.
What can I do better?
Mm-hmm.
And he who must not be named never, on that regard, took his own goddamn advice.
Not once.
It's
Not
so
once.
refreshing to see
good.
that from our new coach.
It's so nice, man, because that sounds like a winning coach, right? That sounds like somebody who's used to winning and having players actually like him. It's somebody who knows like how to draw up play. Like it just sounds super logical. We never saw Billy Donovan be rattled. You know what I mean? Never just seen him get too high or get too low. I've seen him be flabbergasted like that, because of a bad play or something. But I just never seen him just lose it or berate players or just irrationally at half court clapping, doing stupid stuff, thinking that's gonna change anything. No, he's just being calm and gave us every single lineup we wanted. Every lineup we wanted, he gave it to us. We thought so many things would work. He was like, all right, fine, that didn't work. What's next? He wasn't beholden to anything because that goes back to what he said. I have to get better. I've got to do things. I got to know what these players like and where they're comfortable so I can make these guys better so we can be a winning team. Winning culture, not winning season, not just winning a game, winning culture. That's the stuff we love to hear. Oh,
right.
Goosebumps.
And as we wrap up, as not that Matt pointed out in the comments, quick shout out to Tony. Mr. Kukoc, the waiter, the Croatian sensation,
our friend,
got the call to the Hall of Fame today, and well deserved.
Very much so.
Our buddy Bulldog from NBC was like, "Is Tony Kukoc deserving of Hall of Fame?" And you and I were both immediately like, "Yes, yes."
I got that same one from my nephew. He was like, "Oh, come on, man, really, Tony Kukoc?" He's like, "I ain't even trying to hate, but." I was like, but you have to remember, this is the basketball Hall of Fame, not the NBA
Hall of Fame.
Correct.
So he's got the 3 NBA titles and the 6th Man of the Year award. He also has 3 EuroLeague MVPs, 3 EuroLeague championships, a FIBA World Championship MVP.
Mm-hmm.
The dude's international basketball trophy case is cluttered.
Yes, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He's one of the 50 greatest players in FIBA. Like he was voted to that.
Reason, as much as it bugged Bulls fans, because it bugged Michael and Scotty, and we, again, like many things, got a fresh reminder of that in the Last Dance. There's a reason Jerry Krause was obsessed with Tony Kukoc when no one else watching the NBA knew who the hell he was.
Correct.
Which, by the way, we can all crack our jokes and you can all make your what ifs for 98-99. Respect the man Jerry Krause, who organized 6 championship teams. Please,
the moves he made. And
I know it's not popular to say among Bulls fans, but
it's true. It's true. This dude was one of the greatest GMs ever in the history of the game. Seriously, the things he put together and the players that he brought in and the moves he made to continue to win 6 is insane. You know what I mean? Like you said, Tony Kukoc, that was complete. Listen, getting a Euro player at that time was completely against the grain. It just wasn't done because Euro players had that reputation, like they're soft or they can't, play this or play that. Like you would just see Sarunas Marciulionis and Detlef Schrempf and Rick Smits and guys like that. That's pretty much all you had. Tony Kukoc was unheard of. He was damn near 7 feet tall and could dribble and could run the point guard position, play inside and outside. Like that was unheard of. Like he was he was the original unicorn. Right, you didn't see that. So all this
just said Tony was the first Dirk.
Yes,
he really was.
He really was. Like all these
a 7-footer who could shoot and put the ball on the floor. Yeah,
that's him. Like all these players that you see now in the EuroLeague coming out, they all owe a debt to Tony Kukoc because they all took something from Tony Kukoc. Like even when I watch Luka, I think of Tony Kukoc. Like I see him do stuff. I'm like, yeah, some Tony Kukoc in there, man. And Dirk, Dirk, the greatest comparison you can see for it. And even in that, even with all of that, he wasn't even really in his real prime because he was in his prime when he was winning everything. He was basically the Michael Jordan of Europe. He still comes here, wins 3 titles in 6 Man of the Year, and countless game winners for this team. I remember finals games that we wouldn't have won without Tony Kukoc. I remember he dropped 30 on the Utah Jazz when nobody could score. I remember that game. Come on, man.
He had some big games for us in '98, especially.
Yeah,
when Scotty's back was bum and Dennis was just old and tired and didn't give a fuck anymore.
yes.
Like Tony was big in a lot of games for us down the stretch.
Colossal, man. Colossal.
I mean, just great stuff.
Love Tony, man.
And hey, remember that time that we met Tony at the Bulls Charities Gala?
He's our friend. He's our friend, Tony Kukoc.
Our friend, Tony Kukoc. All right, really last thing tonight, Dave, because I want to end on a positive note. And when it comes to this Bulls season, the biggest positive note, let's put another heap of respect on the name of one Zach LaVine. Come on, man. Here's a real quick rundown for you. Sure. 27.4 points per game, which is going to be in the top 10 in NBA scoring this season, career high. 5 rebounds a game, career high. 4.9 assists per game, career high. 50.7 from the field, career high. 41.9 from downtown, career high. 84.9 from the free throw line, career high. And let's also acknowledge the fact that the man upped his game on the defensive end as well. And we've flirted with this stat all season long. We didn't know if he was going to be there or not at the end. It's official. Zach LaVine joins Larry Bird, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant in NBA history as players to average at least 25 points per game on 50, 40, 80 from the free throw line, and a true shooting percentage at or above 60.
I don't even have none of that.
Zach LaVine.
This is all I got to add.
Appreciate this man, Bulls fans.
I ain't got nothing to add to that, Matt. This is all I got to add. That right there. That's special, ladies and gentlemen. Special. Appreciate it. And he's still going to be here next year. And
All-star.
All-star.
Earned an all-star nod.
All-star.
We honestly didn't know what we were getting other than a really athletic guy who was known for dunk contests who just tore his ACL.
Right, exactly.
That's the guy that showed up in the Jimmy trade. And look at what he has turned himself into.
Yeah.
Any Bulls fan who does not appreciate that, does not appreciate this man, I don't know what planet you're living on, but it certainly ain't here with us on Earth. Because wake up and appreciate how good this dude is.
That's it. That's all you got to do. All you got to do.
We'll see. We'll see if we can get some extension negotiations with Zach going on this summer. That's one of many things on AK and Eversley's list of things to talk about, things to hopefully accomplish. But nonetheless,
amazing.
Unless something wild happens, we know that this dude's going to be rocking a Bulls jersey again next season and hopefully beyond. And he is very, very good at basketball. And even in a frustrating season like this, you know what was always fun to watch?
Who's that?
Zach LaVine play basketball.
LaVine.
My goodness.
You know, one thing I don't think people understood, Matt, about him, and a lot of people just didn't know, was his work ethic. I don't think they understood how basketball crazy he is. And to go from what he was to developing the player he is now, like you said, even after the knee injury, who really comes back better, you know, after tearing their knee like that? Like it doesn't really happen that way. But he came back a better player. And now he's not just a good player. He's officially a star. Like, because you know why? Because he's an all-star.
Right.
Like he has
right there in the name.
It's in the name. It's right there in the name. Yeah, it's right there, bro. He is an all-star. He is a star. And we have him on our team. And he loves playing here in Chicago and being the man for us. And now we getting him some help. Now we got a guy who can go out and talk to other stars. Because stars gotta run together. You know, you can't be let into the star circle unless you are one. So now you got a guy who can actually be in those circles with them and have those conversations. And it's just fun now, you know, and it's just good for this team going forward. Because listen, this man is sick of losing. I saw it today, Matt. The games that he's played, the most games he's ever won in his career. I'm just talking about games that he's actually played. The most he's ever won in his career, 29. And that was with Minnesota. He has never won, as I keep saying, he's never won 4 games in a row in his NBA career. He hasn't been on a 500 team.
Right.
Like there's no wins behind that. Oh, that's about to stop. Oh, that's about to stop, man. All that coming next year. All that coming in the offseason.
Well, on that very, very positive note, we conclude the Bulls 2021 season. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us here on Hot Mic, and those of you watching on YouTube all season long. Like we said, we'll probably hop back on here on Hot Mic and do some of these NBA playoff games we got coming up, because there's going to be some fun competition in the NBA playoffs this season. We can't get enough NBA basketball, and we can't get enough of hanging out with you guys, our fellow Bulls fans. So appreciate and respect y'all so much, more than you know. Shout out to our pal John, who started his vacation early, but he'll be back if we do some playoff games. Shout out to our guy C-Dub, who has been rocking with us behind the scenes all season long. Check out BAWL Bulls, the whole BAWL Sports family on YouTube, in your podcast feeds. And in the meantime, if for whatever reason you miss hearing me on here, you can always find us at Locked On Bulls, your team every day. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Big Dave, my friend. I love you. I miss you.
Yes, sir.
We are so close. You, me, John, our boy Bulldog. We're going to get together. We're going to watch an NBA playoff game. We're going to have a pint.
Yes.
Please.
We were doing this. Like, it's going to happen. Like, just know it. It's going to happen. It's official.
Vaccination.
Vaccination hugs for you. It's going to be
all right, y'all. We'll keep an eye on us on Twitter. We'll let you know the first playoff game that we're going to do, so we can be back here hanging out with you again very soon. Until then, be well, take good care of each other, enjoy the NBA playoffs. We will see you soon. As always, see red, be good.